Man, people, listen. I said it, but I didn't very much believe it. I was like, yo, you know what? Sarah Boone, she ought to just go pro se. She ought to just, represent yourself. You're causing a pain in the ass for everybody. No one can represent you at a satisfactory level. Clearly, you know more about this case than anyone else, and you should represent yourself. So I was kind of pushing that. I don't know if she felt the vibes off of my channel. I don't know if that's what was already in her head. I don't know. Listen, she's doing it, folks. Sarah Boone, official, will be going pro se with a hitch to it. She can find a lawyer if she really wanted to, but she already expressed that she doesn't want her own lawyer. And on top of that, her court date cannot change. So it's set, and that's what it is, folks. The judge said, listen, I'm tired of this bullshit, bro. I'm so thankful for this judge because damn, I never thought this was coming. I never thought this day would actually come, but it's actually coming, folks. She's going to be representing herself. You already know that she's going to be going off the rails because the main problem with all of her lawyers are irreconcilable differences, or Boone wants them to represent something that doesn't make any sense to represent. She wants them to bring up points and topics that don't make sense to bring up. You follow? You know what I'm saying? So nobody's going to represent that. But let's go ahead and check out this order that the judge released, and we're going to see exactly how he feels about the situation. So this was released by the court on June 28. It reads, comments. The court made findings that the defendant has forfeited her right to counsel. The motion to withdraw was granted. So when they talk about the motion to withdraw, that's her lawyer right now. That's Cashman saying, deuces. Let's continue. As a condition of Attorney Cashman's withdrawal, she shall provide the court an order for costs to obtain the transcripts of depositions for the two witnesses she deposed. The lawyer who supposedly was good, this was her specialty at handling the most vile, I shouldn't say vile, but handling the most difficult clients. This is her thing. She's like, oh, she's a bitch, bring her to me. Like, this is what Cashman thrives in. Cashman is saying that. Okay. Let's continue. Upon the completion of the transcription of the depositions transcripts shall be sent directly to the defendant at Orange County Jail, the defendant being Sarah Boone. Attorney Cashman shall file a notice with the court reflecting that the deposition transcripts were provided to the defendant. All previously set dates remain. All pre-trial motions must be filed no later than the close of business on Monday, July 22nd, 2024. The court ordered Attorney Cashman to provide 2 boxes of discovery with the clerk marked as identification A and B. The court will reach out to the jail to inquire how to deliver to the defendant. Listen, folks, it's not looking good, brev. You know that content creator. It's not looking good, Sarah. It's not looking good. Listen, this is the judge telling us that he's done with the bullshit. I'm done with the fuck shit. You had fun for a good 5 years. The judge even said he reread all of the notes left by the other judge, the other the other defense attorneys. He's gone through everything, and this is exactly what we needed from this judge. And I knew this was going to happen the way he was asking her questions. He was like, well, what has she lied about? And why do you feel that way? He came off as very understanding. It wasn't that. It was because he wanted to have every single right to force her to go into trial and stop doing this bullshit, which she said so eloquently right here in the notes. Now let's continue. There's another comment added. It says, the court addressed Attorney Cashman's motion to withdraw. The defendant was placed under oath. The court read on record its order dated 6/8/2024 as it relates to the motion to withdraw to the defendant in open court. The defendant gave a statement and asked questions of the court of his order. The defendant was provided a copy of the court's order, hand-delivered on 6/8/2024 by Officer Jones and Thomas. Basically, they're saying, we're going to drop them files off. We gonna drop the paperwork off. Oh, we're gonna have to charge you since you don't have a public defender. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna get them files to you. And good luck, ma'am. Good luck. That is crazy. Think about it. Sarah Boone, pro se. Never thought I'd see it. Now let's move over to some of the reasons why I believe that Sarah kind of got whack-a-mole by this judge, because the letter, bro. I think mainly he may have given her another chance, maybe would have worked with her a little bit. But when you send a 58-page psychopath letter to a judge, first of all, he's not reading it. And second of all, I think he just saw the bullshit to come, and he was like, you know what, let me nip this in the ass, and we're gonna just fire this trial off by any means. Let's go ahead and check out her letter. Before we even get too deep into things, I want to point out that she writes this whole thing in cursive, bro. Like, you wrote the 54-page letter in cursive? Like, bro, what? Like, so with that being said, I'm going to read the pieces that are important, and I'm going to read the pieces that I can read, because it's a lot, and I can't read everything. I'm going to be real with y'all. We have the first thing, hand delivered, Sarah Boone, and she scratches it in all nice like a little psychopath right there. Hand delivered. I guess she doesn't have like Sharpies or, highlighters or anything, so she etches it into the paper. Honorable Judge Michael Kranick, 425 North Orlando, blah, blah, blah. She gives her address. She's very, like, listen, she gives her address to where she's writing this shit from. I don't even know if you need to do that. You're writing from jail. I think you'll know Sarah Boone is who you are. I think you'll know how to get back to you. Just saying. Let's get into this thing. She says, Honorable Judge Kranick, ongoing 5 years. Why can't I ... And then she goes through a laundry list of bullshit. I've never seen a letter written like this. First of all, I don't think ongoing 5 years ... Why can't I ... What? I thought we put like a colon maybe, and then we list it out. She psychopath. So she says a few things here. Use my constitutional rights. Am I the only one who cares about ongoing violations of? That took me a second, and I thought that I read it incorrectly. That's how she wrote it. Why can't I use my constitutional rights? ? Am I the only one who cares about the ongoing violations of? ? Huh? Let's go. Why can't I have a bond? Why can't I have all my medical records? Why can't I have all my digital evidence and discovery? This is another key one she says right here. She says, why can't I properly, rightfully, completely defend myself? So, you know what I'm saying? Where if he read this letter, it's kind of giving the feeling that you want to defend yourself. Is it not? Just saying. Let's continue. She goes a little deeper. She says, why won't my attorney ... And then she continues. Honestly, this seems like a Daryl Brooks 2.0. I'm not going to lie. Maybe she's not as stupid as a Daryl Brooks per se, but she still has the same time-wasting tactics. Things that make no sense at all in the trial. She's going to harp on those the longest just to push a little time, push some more time. And the craziest thing about this court case is, like, honestly, if she stood on 10 toes and took that fucking charge and went ahead, she would be halfway through her prison sentence. She would be looking at 4 more years probably with good behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's actually crazy to think about. If she just stood on 10 toes, this is 5, almost 6 years later, folks. This is insane. She would have been more than halfway through her prison sentence, because I was assuming like 10 to 15. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't assuming anything crazy. But anyways, let's continue. Why won't my attorney give me an honest answer? Another one. Show me everything she says she has and finish reviewing for my case, but withholds from me after I ask repeatedly for and about it. because you don't need to see absolutely everything. What, you know what I mean? Why won't she grant me access to anything I ask for in and about my case? Why won't my attorney, like the detectives in my case, stop putting words in my mouth? Sarah, your attorney is supposed to put words in your mouth. You fucking moron. You pay your attorney to put words into your fucking mouth. What is wrong with you, sweetheart? That's crazy. The detectives won't put no words in your mouth. They want to see what's on your heart, sweetie. They want you to fuck yourself over. Why won't my attorney tell me what's going on in my case? It's been well over 100 days. She's been my attorney, and it's been well over 100 days. She's been my attorney, and still do not know ongoing 5 years. If you guys kind of notice, her questions are kind of repeating themselves. Why is my attorney mean to me? Why doesn't my attorney answer my questions? Why won't my attorney answer everything I want to know about this case? It's like this whole thing could be balled up into probably 4 pages, in honesty. Okay, so she goes on, why won't my attorney tell me why I've already been judged in the court of public opinion? How did that happen? And then she forgets that she did why did my attorney ... at the top. So then she continues and just says, why does my attorney and all the world think this case is already over? So you kind of see the type of time she's on. It's like it's a ball of nothing. And this is the biggest piece of evidence that the attorney can use for a block to an appeal. You know, we see her intentions. We know what she's on. She's on bullshit. She's on straight bullshit, just wasting time as much as she possibly can. But now I want to take a little gear. I want to turn gears a little bit. Somebody sent me an email already telling me that Sarah Boone has started a GoFundMe, because it's either she represents herself or, you know, she gets another lawyer, right? Check this out. The GoFundMe reads from her paperwork. This is why this is a perfect transition. The GoFundMe reads, help Sarah Boone secure legal representation. Was that $10 million or some shit? I love it. Okay. I have not fired any of my attorneys appointed in my case. From me expecting the highest equal standards possible for wanting the absolute best outcome in my, I think she says, preposterous, nightmarish case. Okay. And representing myself is not an option, as both judge have now threatened me with from being outspoken and intelligent in all my observation of ongoing abuse I am, I guess, under. I don't know. It's hard to read her handwriting. So now she has a GoFundMe trying to get some money. She's in panic mode, folks. I don't know if she posted this on her own behalf. I don't know if somebody did it for her. But all I know is a GoFundMe mysteriously popped up. You know what I'm saying? And you know Sarah's in panic mode. I think she's realizing that she's like, oh shit, I may have pushed it a little bit too far, a little too much, you know? And now she's in panic mode because listen, the date is not changing. The judge is going through with it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the coming months. If you go on into her notes, she says things like, my case equals bizarre, equals unknown, equals different, equals ignorance, equals misunderstood, equals unfair. What? She put equal marks for each one. This is we are witnessing a crazy person, folks. She says this does not mean my case can't equal success, and in more than one way. What? Huh? What? So there's so much to unpack there. So she views her winning her case as a success or a failure. Lady, someone is dead. There's no success. There's just a court case to see what happens to your fate. She says this doesn't mean my case can't equal success, and even more than that. Like, what does that mean? You want to be famous too? She wants to do a Gypsy Rose on us. The tortured girlfriend. That's the story. She's going to come out and she's going to do a whole TikTok. It's going to go it probably would go viral if Sarah Boone made a TikTok. I'm not going to lie. It probably would go viral because of the nature of human fucking beings. But she's not going to make it that far. She says, I am not a murderer. The justice system should equal fair, faith, trust, respect. Innocent, and if adjudicated otherwise, 3 points back. And then she's going to 3 points. She means 3 points back on her letter. What is she saying, bro? So we're supposed to track back and see what she said 3 points back. This lady is unhinged, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. And I mean, she just logs things out. I'm not going to read this entire letter. I'll probably throw it on my Patreon just so you guys could see the whole thing. But it is also online. You just got to do some digging for it. It gets crazy. Check this out. This is the part where she says, I have not fired my attorneys appointed in my case. And then this is where she's saying that she's been threatened that she would have to go pro se. So basically, she just clipped that piece out and put it on the GoFundMe, or had someone put it on the GoFundMe. I don't know who, but I guess a family member. That's the only people I would assume would do that for her. Another thing I wanted to point out, she has this little belittling thing about her, because you're writing a letter to a judge, right? So you would assume that the judge kind of knows a thing or two about the law. But she's going to go ahead and write him in this letter, the Florida Constitution. We, the people of the state of Florida, being grateful and almighty something, something, something. I can't read the rest. But she basically reads the Constitution. She reads what a client is, a person who is supposed to receive professional services of another. What? Attorneys. Definition. Attorney-client privilege. Are you taking the judge to school? I know he must have read this. He must have been flipping through this. And honestly, I don't think there's a single soul who actually sat down and read this letter all the way through, because that's actually crazy. If the judge actually read this letter, I'd feel differently about the man, just being honest. I know he was skimming through this shit and reading like, wait, client? Attorney-client privilege? Is she trying to teach me on how the fuck to do my job? Listen. Anyways, I'm a chill on the letter, man. Go look up the letter. It's just crazy. Yeah, I mean, you won't be able to read the whole thing, but you'll be able to get some snippets out of it. And the whole thing is her belittling her lawyers, every single last one of them. They're all ass. And in a subtle way, belittling the judge as well. Because, just in case you don't know your job, here's what you should be doing and what is actually fair. And let's just be fair. Further down in her letter, she goes into some definitions now, just in case he wasn't able to understand what is exploitation, what is abuse, the definition of significant, suppress, the definition of suppress. This looks like, honestly, look at these things. Illegal, trickery. All I'm saying is this looks like the notes of a 15-year-old from high school. And this is the notes of a C+ student. This is not an A student. And it's actually wild that she's sending this to the judge, expecting positive things to happen. This is what I feel like pushed the judge over the line to say, okay, this is the date. We're not fucking with you. Because this is actually wild. But anyways, folks, I just wanted to bring that to you guys, man. Sarah Boone more than likely will be going pro se. They already set things up to send documents over to her cell. We should say her house. And from here, we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have a few hearings before the trial, and man, put the dates down, get the popcorn ready, get the drinks ready, because it's gonna be an interesting fall. It's gonna be interesting, folks. But until the next one, folks, love you guys. See you in the next one. Stay inside, stay safe. Hope you guys have a beautiful Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow.